Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be on the Flash feuds. The first Flash feud, Powerhouse versus Trickster. The goal here is going to be to break down each one of the Flash feuds, hopefully in a decent amount of time to help you get your roster set up. This first one is just going to cover the first Flash feud. It starts Friday, 6/26 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then goes for 5 hours. I'm sorry, not 5 hours. 7 hours. Goes till 1 a.m. It's a men's division. Minimum of 2 required. Brawl size is 5. Of course, this is off the blog, so all subject to change. 30-minute timer, and the first time you win with a superstar in a brawl, it's 12,000 bonus points. So being able to win with all your guys is going to be a bunch of bonus points. Also, if they keep it 5 versus 5, someone in your line is always going to be pretty slow with 5. So this is probably one of those where I would go in a little bit bigger than normal and hope I have the health packs to back it up. Very much, I'm just going to start with saying you're going to see a lot of Zombie Austin. So have a solution for him, whether it's a turn 1 sub, turn 1 Zombie Austin back, or potentially someone that can kill him before he can get his turn in. Some pretty good line bonuses, so we'll talk about those. We talked about a lot of the perks I have up on my screen in the previous feud this month. So we'll go over them slightly again. We'll just start with the perks. I want to highlight this Blast Gem perk, especially since this is a Powerhouse feud. A lot of Powerhouses have Blast Gems, so we'll talk about some of them that you might use. But this is a very cheap perk at 300,000 to max, and lets you create 3 more Blast Gems, and they do 50% more damage. So that's a very cheap, very good perk. Talked about it last time and every time. The MP up is pretty much needed so you can be turn 1. You get a few more bonuses at the max level. Matching, charge your stuff more, and then also moves that generate red gems will create 1 more. This is a Powerhouse heavy feud, and a lot of Tricksters have some red moves too, so that's a useful side bonus there, and very expensive but worth it. And then for this increase all color gem generation one, tier 2 is really the sweet spot in my opinion. 390,000 coin is all, and it gives you increase to all color gem generation for moves by 2, and it decreases your opponent's color gem generation on their trainers by half. So pretty effective and relatively cheap. Helps counter it if your opponent decided to do it. So these 3 in particular should be very solid for these 2 line bonuses. A lot of Tricksters and lots of Powerhouses. The Trap Gem one could also potentially be good. This one, as well as maybe the multi-directional for NWO Macho. That's the more row breaks, column breaks one. That would also benefit big sexy Kevin Nash at Powerhouse. So I think that kind of covers the perks for this Flash feud, this first one. I think we're going to have, let me double check, we're going to have 4, I believe. Second one is female. Third one, Acrobat versus Striker. And the last one is Technician versus Showboat. So going to be some rare requirements on those lines. This line is pretty open. Probably be one of the more frustrating feuds if you don't have a solution to Zombie Austin. A lot of people's solution is 6, and he's not available for this one. So you're going to need a backup plan. I'll try and help with some solutions possibly for that. If you don't have a Zombie Austin and you don't have a counter for him, you're gonna probably only want to go in with at the most 3. So pick your best line bonus you can fill if that's the case, and only fill one of the two. I think I'm going to run, I'll show you what I think I'm going to run real quick. And then I'll talk about why. And we'll kind of go over the row bonuses and all of that too. Okay, so I think this is what I'm going to run. If it doesn't work well for me, I will put Zombie Austin in. I don't like using Z Austin, a little bit slow for my tastes. However, this middle line bonus is very good for him. But let's start with the top. Obviously, if you have any macho, you're going to probably use NWO macho first. Actually, Powerhouse macho is who you're going to be using first if you got them. Then NWO macho, acro, and finally showboat. This line bonus is much more beneficial to Powerhouse and NWO macho than the other ones. The 50% more gem damage is solid for acro macho too. Showboat should be your last choice and is my only choice. So if I want the 50% more damage on the gems, Showboat macho it is. I think it's probably worth it for me running Kane in this Attitude Era slot up here. So let's take a look at the different possible. So obviously, Zombie Austin is an option. Phenom would be a good option for a lot of people for a couple of reasons. First off, is he has a low charge sub, so potentially great counter. It's 7 MP. If you have your MP perks and Sting, it's going to be turn 1. That top lane also has an MP bonus. It has generate purple, and it has gem damage. And when he starts getting his traps out, he blows up a lot of the board. So pretty effective. He's got the MP steal for only 2 MP for purple moves. So potentially you could run that instead of the sub and come out with that first turn and load up your purples and get moving on your destruction. So Phenom is a potential great counter for Z Austin if you don't have Z Austin to start with a stun. So you got the MP steal, you got the sub. The sub's going to have 200% damage bonus, so you could potentially even go with both if you want to be really annoying. If you're going to do the sub, I think red sub Z Austin is the one that makes it last longer, so you probably don't have that. So maybe Austin 316 for more sub damage would be your ticket. So this is a good line bonus for the Phenom. Obviously it's a good line bonus for Kane because you're blowing up, if you have the gear, you're blowing up a bunch of rows and stuff. So it's just 50% more gem damage, which is great for him. Big sexy Kevin Nash. He blows up the board, but he's not going to be turn 1 or anything on this line. The bottom line is much better for him, starting with 2 more red MP, because the random blast gem move can be ready turn 1. So granted it's random, but I think it's like 3. I don't know what it is at 4-star gold, probably like 4. And then you got Rusev, and then you got the blast gem perk, 10 random blast gems. Some of those should connect, so he's usable but better on the bottom line. And the rest of them, really, these are your 4 choices for Attitude Era. The top 4: your Z Austin, Kane with gear, Phenom, or big sexy Kevin Nash. If you can't bring a high level one of these guys, and really in particular these first 3, probably consider leaving this top line empty, because you're going to see a lot of rosters that have Kane with gear, that have Z Austin and all of that stuff. So not really worth the macho unless you have a good one, which I don't. So really, if this is too bad for me, I would be fine just dropping to this lower bonus. However, I have some strong fast characters, and this is a place to make some good points, so I'm going to try this first. But if you can't fill one of those top 3 for this top line, just leave it empty and don't mess with it. So a lot more options in the bottom. Trickster is open, so I really like Edge in this slot. He's going to take advantage of the purple gem damage and also the purple gem generation. So he's kind of doubling up on that. His sub is turn 1. I have his gear as well, so it's a great spot for him. He's going to make a ton of purples, do a bunch of damage, and all that good stuff. He's got a sub, which I don't think I like using. I usually don't put flare on in Feud because of the potential for causing issues, so he won't go on. I'm going to get rid of that right now so I don't forget for some reason. And go with someone like Andrade, actually. NWO show for... No, he'll start with his Black's charge, so yeah, Andrade would be great there. Anyway, Edge, great line bonus for him. Turn 1 sub, so he can beat a bunch of guys for you. It's... Who else? So... There's a lot of guys potentially could be good in this one. With the 2 red MP, Trick Rock, both of his reds are going to be ready to go turn 1, and you have the purple bonus, so you can drop the bleed and the 3x3 area into purple gems. So Trick Rock is going to be really strong, and if with people running some red moves, you know, the MP steal is good. So great line bonus for Trick Rock. He'll be pretty nasty. Elias, if you have him leveled up, this would be a good line bonus for him. He's got some red moves, as I recall. I just use him for a coach, so yeah, a couple red moves. This would be ready turn 1, swap an area to purple gems. We already talked about how that's beneficial. You know, so good line bonus for Elias, and he can steal some red MP too, so definitely a possibility if you have a high level Elias. Deadman has a turn 1 sub. This line bonus doesn't help him really at all. Solid line bonus for Tough with the purple gem generation and the increased purple damage. I don't know that it's enough, but it's a pretty good one if you got a 4-star gold Tough to run him. If you have a high Farouk, it's a great one for Farouk. He's got a couple reds. One of them's his traps that stun, and the other one generates purples, so pretty solid line bonus for Farouk. A lot of really good tricksters for this line bonus. Zombie Brock, his double red. Any of these guys, if you got him at 4-star, would be good choices. He doesn't really need the 2 red line bonus, but it is there. The purple damage is pretty solid since he's making some randoms into purple. It's got the choose destroy, so he can do a lot of stuff. And also he can steal some purple MP, so another potential counter to Zombie Austin. So yeah, Zombie Brock gonna be a great one this feud too. Great line bonus for him. A lot of the usual suspects that we see in feuds. Razor with the purple gem damage and stuff. He doesn't generate purples, but the extra reds, he's got low red charge, turn 1 kind of guy, so potentially that's a decent guy for you. NWO Macho, you're probably using him in the top line if you got him, and if you have him, you don't really need me to talk to him about you. And let's see, who might be tricksters I'm missing? I don't like Trickster Andre, but I believe the 2 reds would benefit him. Hollywood Hogan, if you got him, you don't need me to talk about him. I think that's about it. Oh, Eddie, probably really solid line bonus for Eddie. I'm assuming he'll be super annoying in feuds with all the MP steals. Hopefully you don't run into Eddie. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers the Trickster spot. I'm going to roll with Edge. I think that's going to be a really good slot for him. Between Gear, Daniel Bryan, the whole board's going to be purple. It's going to seem like. And then, you know, the extra damage to purples. Big E's required here, so if you got him, you got him. I don't think the red benefits him at all. Purple gem generation, maybe a little bit. But, you know, I'm going to be running him blue, blue, black anyway, regardless. And then you have an open Powerhouse slot. Earthquake with Gear is super nasty, so I'm going to be running him with the Blast Gem perk. Choose the Blast Gems. This is also a very, very good spot for Zombie Austin because more purple gem damage and more purple gem generation. So, you know, between this and the gem generation perk, you don't even need to put Daniel Bryan on him. So you can double MP trainer if you want to. He's going to be really annoying this feud. I don't really want to bring mine because I don't like using him. Goldberg, as always, really strong if you have the gear, if you have Akam at 9k, 7 MP, red choose move. The line bonus won't benefit him really at all, but he's a decent guy in this slot if you're using Edge and stuff and you have the biggie. The extra red always is going to benefit Zombie Rock in case he doesn't have a bunch of reds on the starting board, so pretty decent for him. Drew, if you have him and you have him leveled up, lets you get to his red, choose area to destroy turn 1, so solid line bonus for him, gives a little more options. Shelton, if you have Big John Stud, his generate reds is turn 1 and you have some extra on the board. So plenty fine for him. This is the one where Kevin Nash's choose is ready to go, so you can use Kevin Nash. I think that's most of the powerhouses that are going to benefit from this line bonus. Might have missed someone in there. Of course, if you have Hogan, you're going to run Hogan regardless. It's another decent one for Phenom if you're for some reason have the top filled. I'm going to run Earthquake with Gear and turn 1 blow up the board. So that's what I plan on doing. Cover the perks again real quick just to recap. MP up is worth it. Hopefully you already got it. Otherwise 390,000 to generate some extra gems, pretty cheap. 300,000 for those blast gems. So if you're using a blast gem guy like Quake or Kane or someone like that, Goldberg, any of those guys, I would say run with that. So again, if you don't have a Z Austin, if you don't have a solution for stopping Z Austin, don't fill both rows. Pick whichever one happens to be your best. If you don't have Big E to fill the middle row, don't necessarily worry about having to bring 4 because you can get away with 2. So just kind of play it by ear, see how it goes. Start small because it's a lot easier to put guys in than take them out. Scopely needs to give us a remove button. Yeah, I think that's about it for this first Flash feud. I will try and get the other ones recorded in a fashion that gives you a little time to watch it. So hopefully this helps. And I hope you guys have a good feud and enjoy it. So like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Discord, all that good stuff. Good luck out there, guys.